Hi, I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilts cutting expert.
And I'm Erica Botker, AccuQuilts creativity expert.
English paper piecing, or EPP, has been around since the 1700s, but this is not your ancestors' EPP. With AccuQuilt, you can cut both the fabric and paper pieces with one pass through any of our cutters. Your shapes will be perfect every time.
The Go English Paper Piecing Jewel Petal 1-inch finish side die, along with the Go English Paper Piecing Hexagon 1-inch finish side die, will allow you to create beautiful EPP flowers just like this in no time.
So pretty.
Now, let's show you how to make the Go Jewel Blossoms wall hanging. It's a free pattern on AccuQuilt's website. Now, we're going to start by cutting our jewel petals, so our fabric and also the paper. All right, let's get going.
All right, Erica, so we're gonna use cardstock, but you could use paper mailers that come in the mail,
Sure.
anything that you'd like to reuse. So I have a stack of batiks that we're gonna use here.
Okay.
And I've measured from here to here at 1/4 inch and just rough cut our fabric.
Fabulous.
Now, Erica, this is gonna fit through any of our cutters, including our Go Me. Shall we use our Go Me today?
Let's do that. Let me get this cut. All right.
Look at how fast and easy that was. All right, we're gonna give it a little love. Slide, don't lift. All right, so now you can see that we've cut our jewel pieces and those little papers. Look at how pretty those are. All right, so this is what we're gonna use for the sides of our blossom.
Perfect.
But the center is actually the hexagon from the English paper piecing cube.
Fabulous.
So we're gonna cut that next along with paper for it. All right, so here is the paper die from the English paper piecing cube. Notice, Erica, it has little holes in the center, so it's really easy to take those pieces out.
It is.
So I'm gonna give you this. Now think about this, Erica. With the Go Me and English paper piecing, it is the total portable on-the-go project.
It really is.
Think about all the things you could take it to, soccer games or swim meets, or while you're waiting in the car for kids to get out of school.
Camping in the RV with you, so many options here. Okay, I'm gonna move this one out of our way.
Great, and here's our hexagon centers. So I've subcut our fabric for that.
And it matches our shirt so well. There you go.
All right, so now we've cut our centers. So I've already started one of our blossoms. And we're gonna show you the same technique, but we have a little bag of fun things.
We have all kinds of goodies because our first step is going to be basting our fabric around that shape. And there's different ways to do that, but Pam and I both favor glue basting.
We do.
And we've got 2 different glue sticks. We carry both of these on our website.
Great.
And this is the June Taylor temporary glue stick. It shows up purple, but it's really clear. And then we've got another one that's like a pen.
Yep, and you just start here. Make sure you get plenty of glue all the way around. And then what we're gonna do is take the sides, because we've added 1/4 inch on either side. So you could actually use your sewing machine if you wanted to sew those.
You can, that's fabulous.
So here is our center. And what I've already started to do was I added just one of our petals at a time. And what you're gonna do is, we'll show you, I'm just gonna do a little whip stitch here.
Yes.
And then it's not gonna show. But what you're gonna wanna do is just start here, and you're just really gonna just take a couple of just threads.
Yep. That's really the key, is that you're just picking up a couple threads because you don't want your stitches to show.
And I just use a single layer. Is that what you use, Erica?
I do. I do.
Because
again, you want that thread to kind of melt into your project. Now, while Pam's stitching that, let me show you a little something on our jewel petal, because I think you might be wondering about it. When you put it together, you are going to have this little diamond of fabric, this little tag down here. Don't worry about it. Don't panic. When you sew this together, this is actually really helpful for using to line up your pieces when you're doing a whole big project of the pieces together. And if you just are doing a single petal like we're doing for this project, this can be trimmed or it can simply be tucked underneath.
Which I think is brilliant.
It really is.
I mean, I like the fact that you can line things up and you can get things done. Now, this is a great, you know, as I was thinking about this, when I was making my little step out here, I was just sitting at home. It was a hot, hot day, and I was sitting downstairs where it was nice and cool, and I could just attach petals to English paper piecing all day long.
You know, I keep mine next to, in a little basket where I watch TV.
Oh, there you go.
And if I don't have a quilt to finish the binding by hand, because yes, you remember I'm the weird one that likes doing that.
She loves to do that.
That's like my favorite thing.
Jill here in our studio, she likes to do that as well.
She does. Jill and I are soul sisters with that.
All right, so now I'm just gonna put a little knot here in the end, because what we wanna show you is now that we've attached the petal, how do you finish it?
Yes.
All right, so now that I've added all my petals, you're wondering, what do we do next? Well, what we do next is take out the center, so you have a little trick for that.
Yes, so our English paper piecing cube is specially designed to cut a little hole out of those shapes. And that means we can take this and I can just kind of run my stiletto. So now that I've loosened that up, then I'm just gonna stick the end of it in and pop that right out. And that's why you wanna be careful. You wanna be sure you're not catching the edge of that cardstock when you're hand stitching those together. Right. You're just catching the fabric.
Right.
Now we've got that out, so we've got it, now it's flexible, right?
Right, so now we can fold it in half and whip stitch this side and whip stitch this side. Again, you could use the magnets. This is a good time that I like to put binding clips on the other side so it's not moving. And then again, it's gonna be flexible so you can go the other direction.
Folding it, yeah.
And then when you've created your whole petal,
right,
then very carefully you wanna take out these pieces.
Right.
And I have found, Erica, that after I take one out, I like to just press it.
Oh, you know,
that
you can press cardstock. Don't worry about pressing cardstock.
Yeah.
I mean, don't go crazy and set it on fire, but you can have it on a lower temperature and press that with the cardstock in it, and it's just fine.
That way, it's going to keep its shape.
Now the next question is, now what, right?
Right.
So we've already cut some 8.5-inch squares with our with the die. Right. And now we've got a couple options here. So this is going to be like an applique.
Right. And you're going to follow the instructions because there's some really great instructions. You would fold this in half and mark it so you know where the center was. Okay.
And you can see they've done that. But here's your options. You can go ahead and finish it by machine.
Right, just do Raj.
This is just a straight stitch just inside the edge. And you can see that you use white, we used white on the back, on our bobbin. We used a color that kind of a purpley pinky color that fades in and it just melts right in with your project. Or you can keep up with the handwork and go ahead and whip stitch that to that square, right?
Right. Right. And if you wanted to, you could do a little glue basting to help keep those petals down.
And that would be a perfect place to use the June Taylor one that's a little bit bigger.
Right, right.
You will need a total of 16 jewel flower blocks to complete the project. Now you want to follow the pattern to add the border, layer the batting and between the top and the backing. You'll pin and baste those layers together and quilt as desired. So think about stitching the ditch between the blocks.
Oh, sure.
Or doing an echo quilt stitch. I like the idea of doing that. Just maybe 1/8 or 1/4 inch out from the flower. It would really help it pop out. And then maybe you want to quilt in the background to, again, really help those petals, those pretty jewel petals stand out. Add binding and, of course, a label.
Be sure and share your finished projects with us on all of our social media platforms using the hashtag AccuQuiltBuilt.
English paper piecing has never been easier because at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time
so you can quilt more.